while. Been doing a whole bunch of stuff. As you see, the channel is growing, subscribers is growing. If you're not subscribed, it's your first time here, make sure you subscribe. If this is not your first time here and you subscribed already, salute to you. Thank you for subscribing. A lot going on. The year's almost over. 2015 has been a crazy year for myself, crazy year for black people in general. So much police shooting, so many police murders. We got the police murdering of black people, so much shit, and just basically just getting away with it. What I wanted to talk about today was the Tamir Rice thing, man. It's just, the Sandra Bland, beforehand, the Sandra Bland, they decided not to charge anybody or indict anybody in the killing of Sandra Bland, and then they distracted us perfectly with the Sandra Bland situation with the Steve Harvey thing was all over, and then the R. Kelly situation and the Sandra Bland was happening. It was like kind of went under the radar, which was crazy. And then now you had the Tamir Rice situation, the 12-year-old boy who was killed by police officers. 12-year-old boy. When I say boy, I don't mean to say that in a derogatory way. I mean boy as in child, who was killed by police officers. And basically they just gonna get away with it. I don't know what the hell going on outside. I don't know if it's raining or fucking that's what's that shit called? Hail or whatever, but something is hitting the window. But yeah, man, shit is crazy, and it's like, you have justice or else, you have Black Lives Matter, you have no justice, no peace, you have boycott, you have all these things, and all those things that are so-called being done to fight the cause or combat the cause of it's like being virtually it's ineffective because they still doing what they doing and getting away with it. The lack of Christmas money being spent is not gonna bring back Tamir Rice's life. It's not gonna bring back Sandra Bland. It's not gonna bring back any of these people. I understand the gestures and the meanings behind it, but at the same time, people are still dying. Like, it's something about the system that's not being corrected, and the system is not respecting us. But how do you expect the system to respect us when it was never made for us? It never had us in mind when the system was being built in the structure of the system. When you go back to the founding of this country, and when a lot of the laws of the land and a lot of things was being implemented and put in place, we wasn't in mind in those things, and then they had to go and put in certain bills and amendments to have us included. So I don't know. I just think it's fucked up that we just become hashtag gangsters. We become people who protest on the internet, but there's no real, the protest. It just it goes on for a little while, and then it falls on deaf ears. I'm just at the point now where, what are we to do now? You boycott. All right, say you boycott Black Friday. Say you boycott Christmas. Say you boycott whatever they want you to boycott. You boycott those things, and the TV you normally would buy is $700, but in all reality, the TV might only cost $100 to make. You boycott the buying of the TV for $700, so now they're overstocked with all this shit. So they're still gonna get it off because all they're gonna do is mark the prices down. So now the TV is $300. So they sell the TV for $300, and then they made $200 still. So and then you expect black people who didn't even buy into the reason why they should be boycotting in the first place. See, I got a sister. I don't want to put her on blast, but I'm gonna keep it real in the situation. one time I was listening to Farrakhan's speech, and I listened to Farrakhan. You know what I'm saying? Well, I used to always listen to Farrakhan's speeches because at one point he was our only particular leader in this time that was saying things that were fiery and just outward in the open and shit. So I would listen to a lot of Farrakhan, and my sister said to me, "Who is that you listening to?" And I was like, Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I was like, she was like, "Oh, I don't like him," and I was like, "Why you don't like him?" And she was like, "I don't like him because he killed Malcolm X," And I was like, "Well, he didn't kill Malcolm X. If he killed Malcolm X, he would be in jail." But she was like, "Well, I know he has something to do with it." Now, that's many people's sentiment. That's many people feelings that Minister Farrakhan has something to do with the killing of Malcolm X. Now, bust this. Whether he had anything to do with the killing of Malcolm X or not, that's not for me to sit around and talk about. The issue is, you don't like somebody because they so-called have something to do with Malcolm X, but you didn't even follow Malcolm X. So the point I'm making is that we got people who we want to care about Black Lives Matter. We got people who we want to care about justice or else. We got people who we want to boycott. They never even bought into the reasonings that they should be doing that shit. And it's not a good enough reason for them to say fuck these things. You know what I'm saying? So like my sister, she could say, "Oh, I don't like him because he has something to do with the Malcolm," but you didn't even follow Malcolm. So you don't like somebody for some reason that somebody gave you, but you didn't even buy into what Malcolm was trying to say and do. If you did, you wouldn't be swining and doing other things that you do. You know what I'm saying? Just your way of life would be different. So that's the funny thing is like, people are like, boycott? Boycott what? Boycott for what? Justice or else. I put my little hashtag. I'm gonna act like I care. I'm gonna act like I care because everybody else is doing it, and this is the thing to do. I'm outraged. I'm appalled. But what are you going to do to implement change? Because obviously, okay, voting didn't work. Obama's the president. There's been more black people killed under his regime than fucking Bush. And Bush let it be known that he didn't give a fuck about us. Besides, the people who were killed in New Orleans, for during the hurricane Katrina. Besides that, but shit, they making slave movies while you got a black president. So it's like, okay, don't get too gassed, don't get too hyped. Yeah, you got a little black president, half a black president. You got a little black president, but don't forget y'all still come from slavery. Don't forget that. That's what I feel is being thrown in there. Even though we don't descend from slavery, y'all motherfuckers did that to us. But you want people to boycott. You want people to buy into something that they didn't buy into. They don't see. The thing with black people is that so many of us don't see anything wrong with what's going on. Black people, we were taught to mind our business unless it has something to do with rumors and gossip. For example, white people, if you notice something could be going on in the street, the shit don't got nothing to do with them. Nothing. They'll be like, "Hey, what's going on here?" You know what I'm saying? They be like, "Hey, what are you doing over there? Why are you standing around?" They just naturally nosy as a motherfucker. But what we call nosy is a human being inquisitive about what's going on, and they think they own shit and run everything. So if you standing around on the fucking street, they just like, what the fuck y'all standing there for? Us, on the other hand, we see shit going on. We just mind our business. We turn our head. Because on the slave plantation, you wasn't allowed to say, you had to pretend like you didn't hear the women being raped. You had to pretend like you didn't hear the men being raped, beaten, the children being beaten. You had to pretend that. So that shit still carried to this day. So when we see shit that's fucked up, we naturally don't intervene. You know, we naturally don't intervene. We naturally just turn our head like we don't see nothing. And that shit has been instilled in us since slavery, and it hasn't gotten out of us. But when it has something to do with the demise of our people, we bask in that. You know, that's why so much of these gossip sites. I had a conversation with one of my homegirls today. Shout out to Evie, and we was talking about websites and what makes websites successful. And we came to terms with that most websites are successful when it has to do with gossip, rumors, beef, and shit like that. But if it has anything to do with learning or even just music, nobody gives a fuck about that shit. Nobody goes on the internet to hear music. People go on the internet to see who went on who dissed who's beefing. You know, if it's an interview, motherfuckers want cliff notes of the beef. You know, and it's sad because me as a website owner and a content creator, sometimes I have to get drugged into that shit in order to be relevant, because there's not enough people that don't subscribe to that shit to keep my shit afloat. So every now and again, I gotta sprinkle certain shit in there just to give people what they want in order to give some of the people what they need, you know? And we naturally just don't give a fuck about one another unless it's something to do with our demise at the hands of certain people. Because, all right, bust it. We watch Eric Gardner, you know, rest in peace, get killed like right in front of us and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he just died in front of us. Like he just died in front of us. You know, they killed him. Like right there. So imagine all the countless other brothers that didn't get caught, you know, that didn't get the incident getting caught on camera, and sisters that died, and children. Tamir Rice is a child, is a baby. 12-year-old's a baby, you know, to me, to many of us. 12 years old is a baby. Like a baby, when you like, we that fucked up that we watch babies get gunned down in the street. You know, we watched it, we saw it. Like, we bear witness to that. Mike Brown, like so many, like, you know, when does this shit end though? You know what I'm saying? Like, when does it end? What are we willing to do to end this shit? Because it's starting to become war on us now. Like it's been, you know, it's been war. Let's not get it twisted. Let's not act like, you know, it ain't been war since they brought us here, because nothing has changed, you know. But now the shit is being televised now, you know. This shit is being televised, like we seeing it, you know, and it's like, you know, we beating our fist and we mad and we're gonna protest again. We're gonna do another march. And I just think we're starting to run out of shit to do, you know. And this broadcast is more so a question to many of you out there. You know, what do you think we should do, man? Now what? You know, I like to ask that question a lot. Now what? You know, now what? You know, we just took so many L's, you know, of our people. We just took so many L's of our people. Like, we just watched it, man. Like, and then we watch these websites, you know, who promote the L's of our people. Like, you know, people fighting. People who have made millions of dollars off our misery, and we still support those websites of people fighting and getting knocked out and all this shit of our misery. And we support that shit and we laugh at it and we share it on Facebook and you comment. So then when they kill us on TV and they do this shit to us on TV, we get mad, but they be like, yo, y'all normally laugh at this shit. Or you only getting mad because it was one of us that did it to one of y'all. But when y'all do it to each other, it's okay. You know, when I go through Facebook sometimes and all I see is fucking fight videos and, you know, this is what y'all entertained by now. Like, this is became y'all source of entertainment. This is what makes you happy when you get up in the day, you get up in the morning You start your day, the first thing you want to do is go see somebody get beat up or slapped or stabbed or shot and shit like that. That's how fucked up we are now. So when they fuck us around and do shit to us, how could you get mad? You like to see the shit get done. Oh, you have to get a certain pass to do it. It has to be justification. You know, and I'm like, yo, everybody bowed down to World Star. You know, everybody, the whole industry just bowed down to them. They did the most. And I'm not on no World Star hate campaign. I used to be, and then I realized I was fighting a losing battle with that because, you know, rappers who I helped, their career, they would be dead in the water if it wasn't for me. They went against me for World Star, you know. So that let me know that, yo, that's a monster over there that's really controlling people, and that shit is real because people really believe that if they got something to do with this monster, it's gonna help further them in life. And you know, I didn't really see nobody prosper from it, but whatever. But that's a place that prospered and gained off of our misery, and off our pain, and off our suffering, and still doing it, you know. And we in a fucked up state, and there's no balance, there's no education, there is no hope, you know. Now what though, you know? They just killing us now, you know. They're killing us on live TV. They're killing us via the cell phones. They can see it, you know. And then when we do shit towards each other and we retaliate towards each other, they just lock everybody up, you know. And I'm just at the point where I'm just, you know, I don't even know what to do no more, you know. I just at the point where, you know, it's like I'm, you know, going into this year, because, you know, we were at the end of the year. We're going into a new year. We going into this new year, you know, a lot's happened this year. I'm always happy to go into a new year based upon, you know, everybody's not alive, you know, lost a lot of people this year. So the fact that you could go into a new year and be alive is a blessing. And you just got to just do what you got to do to stay alive now. Like, because like we almost in survival mode, you know. It's so bad that it's like, I've never called 911 in my life. You know, honestly, I've never dialed 911 and said I need the police because of XYZ. I've never done that in my life. There was times where I probably, if I was another person, I would have, you know, but that's just not my thing because I'm afraid of police. I'm afraid to call them and be the victim and end up being victimized by them, and they're supposed to serve and protect, you know. So I'm afraid to call police in a domestic situation and they end up killing everybody, you know. You don't know if they're gonna come help you or hurt you now, you know. But it's just at the point where you know, you're just watching shit going on. And I'm gonna be real with y'all, like, you know, the Meek Mill and Drake shit is just not important, you know. It's just something that's going on, but the motherfuckers is millionaires. Like, I don't care about what millionaires are doing right at this moment, you know. I really don't. I care about how the poor people, how we gonna survive through this, you know. Because even though you know, no disrespect to anybody watching this, I might have more than many of you watching this, you know, through your good graces of subscribing through YouTube and you know, and being earning income from that, you know. I'm thankful for that, but we still poor, you know, because we still got to get up and bust our ass and work, which everybody have to do. Somebody asked a question. Philly Celeb TV wants to know, Doggie, how do you feel about reporting dirty cops to Eternal Affair? How do you report a cop to a cop? You know, me personally, like, I'm just not into telling, you know. Honestly, I'm not into telling anything. I'm not into telling, you know. That's it. I just not into telling. I'm into implementing changes and just making adjustments and shit. I'm not, because like I said, who you gonna tell in this world that we in right now? When you're victimized, if you're a victim of a crime, who you do? You tell the police, and then they come and kill you and the person who fucked you around. So who can you tell anymore? You know, it's at the point where you can't tell anybody. You know, so I'm not into telling. You know, that's just, you know, just me personally. You know, whoever feels like you a victim and you want to report a crime, because you know motherfucker can't tell you a snitch. If you was a victim, you know, a snitch is, you know, we both go rob somebody and I get caught and you get away, and I say, yo, Demetrius was there too. And then give them, you know, the whole blueprint of, you know, that's some snitch shit, you know. But, you know, if you're a victim of a crime and you feel like you want justice for yourself and you want to call the law, yo, it ain't, you know, it ain't my place to say you a snitch or not, you know. But like I said, my point for today is that now what? You know, Tamir Rice won't get any justice. Sandra Bland won't get any justice. Eric Gardner won't get any justice. Freddie Gray won't get any justice. Shit. Now what? You know, now what? Now we know that they could openly kill us on television. Imagine the things we don't see, though, man. You know, we know that they could openly kill us on television and get away with it. Now what? You know, now what? And I think that's the narrative that needs to happen, because first and foremost, we've been marching for a very long time. We've been protesting for a long time. We've been doing many of these things for a very long time, and shit's still happening. So now what? You know, that's my thing right now. You know, I'm just at the point where I'm kind of lost. I mean, I have things that I suggest, but I'm not going to say that in a public forum. What I suggest is nothing criminal, but at the end of it all, I'm not going to say what I suggest, basically, mainly because, you know, I don't really want motherfucking people to know what angle I would attack things at, you know. And another thing is like, listen, man, let me tell y'all something. This is the realest shit. And I'm not going to make this long today. I'm not going to draw this out today because I'm not down, but I'm feeling a little, you know, just feel bad about, you know, a lot of the shit that's going on. You know, like I said, the Tamir Rice thing, I was feeling like, you know, we done lost so many of those battles. We got to win one of them. And we lost them all, man. We like fucking and shit way back to Eleanor Bumpers and Sean Bell. You know, we done lost them all. The thing that's crazy to me is that we talking about people who got more sympathy for a fucking dog. You got people like Peter in these organizations that if you fucking, they'll throw fucking paint on your fur if you got on a fur of an animal. And that's a proactive thing, you know, that's an act. That's assault. But nobody does anything when they kill people. If you cut down a fucking tree in the wrong place, if you fish in the wrong pond without permission, if you kill a fucking lion, if you kill an animal, if you know, what about the people who's fucking assholes? You know, let's not get it twisted, but the people who tape the dog mouth shut, they found those motherfuckers. They found them. They found them. The people who burned the cat, they found them and brought their ass to justice. But you could kill a black human being in front of the world and get away with it. What does that say? Brothers in Chicago, y'all brothers out there killing each other over shit y'all don't even understand. Truthfully, because I don't care if you GD, BD, Vice Lord, Blood, Crip, Nieta, Latin King, I don't care what you are. You don't understand. You still don't understand. Many of y'all were just born into things, and many of y'all just joined things because everybody else was doing it. And I'm not disrespecting no street organization because y'all are needed, y'all are wanted, and y'all are loved. But if y'all organized the way many of your founders started trying to do that, instead of running wild and reckless now with no law and order, y'all be so powerful. You know, y'all in the music industry, y'all got many artists who are on your team. You got many executives. You know, you have so many people in high places, and you do so much of the lowest level shit. You know, the gangs, the gangs, what they like to call them, I like to say street organization. The street organizations are the real secret societies, or supposed to be the secret societies. But instead of you being the secret society, you broadcast that you're a part of something that's destructive. When you have people who are in secret societies who rule the world and you don't even fucking know. And they rule the world and you don't even know. But you so happy to do things with your fingers, and you so happy to rep colors, and you're so happy to do all this shit that don't amount to nothing but put a red dot on your head. Put you right in the crosshairs. And you got people who run the world who did the most wickedest shit to nations, millions, billions, and you don't even know what they're a part of. Because real gangsters and bad boys move in silence. You know what I'm saying? Real gangsters and bad boys move in silence. You never see me claim anything. You never see I'm a part of anything. I do say I'm a Raider because that was a gang that I started in name and when I was a kid, you know, when that's something local. But I'm not out there banging, you know, so that's just something that's local that, you know, my family. You know what I'm saying? But the gangs are supposed to be the secret societies. Listen, all right, I'm gonna be out on this note. I'm not gonna take y'all time too much today. Look at the Warriors. Look at the movie The Warriors. If you didn't see it, please go watch The Warriors. The universal leader of the biggest gang was Cyrus, right? Listen to the speech he was giving. The speech that he was giving at the time was telling the gangs how they could unite and take over the fucking city. If they united and stopped bickering and arguing over bullshit, they could run the city. Who killed Cyrus? Who killed Cyrus? Started all the shit in the city, got rid of the truce, and blamed somebody for the bullshit they did. Now it's deeper than who killed Cyrus. It was a fucking cracker. Watch The Warriors. A powerful black man stood up on a platform and united everybody. Black, red, brown, yellow, white. And who didn't want to see it happen? Think about that shit. Go watch The Warriors, man. On that note, I gotta go. See y'all tomorrow, man. Like I said, I'm got a lot of studying and thinking to do. I'm out of here. Let me shout out some people in the room. Black Creation, as always. Cheryl Berry. Shout out to you. Shout out to Ace Boogie Films. Shout out to Lakers. Shout out to Philly Celeb TV. Shout out to Adams Fam. Shout out to everybody, man. I gotta go. I'm out of here. I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.